Christmas market sparkled with thousands of lights, transforming the city square into something magical despite the cold December evening. Snow fell in gentle flakes, dusting the shoulders of shoppers browsing handmade ornaments and sipping hot chocolate from steaming cups. Laughter and Christmas carols filled the air, the kind of scene that belonged on greeting cards. Julian Westbrook stood at the edge of the market, watching the festivities with the detached observation of someone who no longer believed in magic or joy. At 37, he had everything money could buy: a penthouse overlooking the city, luxury cars, a private jet, properties in 6 countries. He was the CEO of Westbrook Enterprises, a tech conglomerate worth billions. He also had nothing that mattered. No family beyond distant relatives who only contacted him when they needed money. No real friends, just business associates and people attracted to his wealth. No one who saw him as Julian rather than as a walking bank account. His therapist had suggested he try experiencing normal holiday activities, claimed it might help with the depression and emptiness he couldn't seem to shake despite all his success. So here he was, standing in a Christmas market, feeling more alone than ever, surrounded by happy families. That was when he noticed her. A little girl in a wheelchair sat near one of the crafts booths, watching other children run and play with an expression that mixed longing and acceptance. She appeared to be about 7 years old, wearing a pink winter coat that was slightly too large and a matching knit hat pulled down over blonde hair. Her wheelchair was old and worn, corroded with stickers that were peeling at the edges, but it was her eyes that caught Julian's attention. Despite her circumstances, despite the obvious poverty suggested by her worn clothing and aging wheelchair, her eyes held a brightness, a determination to find joy even when life had dealt her a difficult hand. A woman stood behind the wheelchair, and Julian recognized the exhaustion in her posture. She was young, probably early 30s, with blonde hair pulled back in a simple ponytail. She wore a coat that was too thin for the weather and kept rubbing her hands together for warmth. The resemblance to the little girl was unmistakable. This was her mother. The woman knelt beside the wheelchair, saying something to the girl that made the child smile. Then the mother stood and began pushing the wheelchair toward the exit. Away from the festivities and lights, Julian found himself following them, not entirely sure why. They left the market and walked several blocks to a bus stop where they waited in the cold. The mother kept the girl engaged with conversation, pointing out Christmas decorations in windows, making up stories about the people passing by, doing everything she could to make waiting for a bus feel like an adventure rather than a hardship. The bus arrived, and Julian watched the mother struggle to maneuver the wheelchair up the accessibility ramp while other passengers waited impatiently behind them. No one offered to help. The mother managed it alone, as she clearly did everything alone. And the bus pulled away. Julian stood at the empty bus stop, something stirring in his chest that he hadn't felt in years. Before he could talk himself out of it, he pulled out his phone and made a call. "Cass, I need you to do something for me. There's a woman and a child in a wheelchair who just got on the number 12 bus heading east. I need you to find out who they are and where they live, discreetly. I don't want them to know they're being investigated." His head of security didn't question the unusual request. 3 days later, Marcus delivered a comprehensive report. The woman's name was Anna Morrison, 32 years old, widowed. Her daughter was Emily Morrison, 7 years old, born with spina bifida that left her unable to walk. Anna worked 2 jobs: data entry during the day and cleaning offices at night to cover medical expenses and basic living costs. They lived in a tiny 1-bedroom apartment in a struggling neighborhood, with Anna sleeping on the couch so Emily could have the bedroom. Emily's medical needs were extensive and expensive. She required ongoing physical therapy, regular doctor visits, and would eventually need surgery that insurance wouldn't fully cover. Anna had been saving for 3 years, but was still far short of what they needed. The report also included information from Emily's school. Despite her challenges, she was a bright student who loved to read and draw. Teachers described her as remarkably empathetic, always concerned about others, even when she was the one facing difficulties. Julian read the report 3 times, seeing his own childhood reflected in painful ways. He had grown up with wealth, but without love, his parents too busy building their empire to pay attention to their lonely son. He had everything material, but nothing that mattered emotionally. Emily had none of the material advantages, but seemed to have something he had never possessed: genuine love and connection with her mother. He made a decision that would have seemed insane to anyone who knew him. He was going to help them, not with an anonymous donation or a check in the mail. He was going to get involved personally, though he wasn't entirely sure why or what that would look like. A week before Christmas, Julian returned to the market, timing his visit to coincide with when he had first seen them. Sure enough, Anna and Emily were there again. The little girl's face lit up with joy as she watched a puppet show from her wheelchair. Julian approached slowly, not wanting to startle them. He knelt beside Emily's wheelchair, bringing himself to her eye level. "Hello," he said with a smile that felt rusty from disuse. "I'm Julian. What's your name?" Emily looked to her mother for permission before answering. Anna nodded warily, clearly suspicious of a strange man approaching her daughter. "I'm Emily. This is my mom, Anna. It's nice to meet you both. I couldn't help but notice your wheelchair has some amazing stickers. Did you decorate it yourself?" Emily's face brightened. "Yes. This one is a rainbow because I love colors. And this one is a book because I love to read. And this heart is because Mom says we should always choose love. Your mom sounds very wise." Julian glanced up at Anna, seeing the protective stance, the wariness in her eyes. "I hope I'm not intruding. I just wanted to say hello." "That's kind of you," Anna said, her tone polite but distant. "We were actually about to head home, of course. But before you go, could I ask you something, Emily? What do you want for Christmas?" Emily thought about this seriously. A new book would be nice, or colored pencils for drawing. But mostly, I just want Mom to not be so tired all the time. She works really hard. "Camille," Anna said softly, a warning in her voice. They clearly weren't the kind of family that shared their struggles with strangers. "I have an idea," Julian said. "There's a cafe right over there that makes the best hot chocolate in the city. Would you allow me to buy you both a cup? Consider it my Christmas gift to you, Emily." Anna started to refuse, but Emily's hopeful expression stopped her. "Just hot chocolate. Nothing more. Just hot chocolate. And maybe a cookie, if they have good ones." Anna agreed, and they made their way to the small cafe at the edge of the market. Julian held doors and made sure there was plenty of space for the wheelchair. Small gestures that Anna clearly wasn't used to receiving from strangers, over hot chocolate and cookies. Julian learned more about them. Emily talked about school and her love of stories. Anna shared carefully edited versions of their life, enough to be polite, but not enough to reveal how desperately they were struggling. "What do you do, Julian?" Anna asked, more to be polite than from genuine curiosity. "I work in technology, software development, and investments. It's not very exciting, honestly." He wasn't ready to reveal that he was a billionaire CEO. Not yet. "What about you?" "Data entry mostly. Just office work. Nothing glamorous." She didn't mention the second job, the cleaning at night, the constant exhaustion of working every possible hour to keep them afloat. Emily, with the directness of children, asked, "Do you have kids?" Julian felt something twist in his chest. "No, no kids. No family, really. Just me." "That's sad," Emily said with genuine sympathy. "Everyone should have family. Family is the most important thing." "You're right. It is the most important thing." Julian looked at Anna. "You've raised a remarkable daughter." "She's my whole world," Anna said simply, and Julian could see the truth of it in her eyes. As they prepared to leave, Julian handed Anna a business card. "If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to call. I mean that sincerely." Anna took the card, clearly not intending to use it. Thank you for the hot chocolate. That was kind of you. Over the next 2 weeks, Julian found himself thinking constantly about Anna and Emily. He made discreet arrangements, setting up accounts and making plans, trying to figure out how to help without overwhelming them or making them feel like charity cases. On Christmas Eve, he showed up at their apartment building carrying gifts. Anna answered the door, looking exhausted, still in her cleaning uniform from her night job, clearly having just gotten home. Julian, what are you doing here? How did you know where we lived? Can I come in, please? I know this is strange, but I have something important to discuss with you. Anna hesitated, but let him in. The apartment was tiny and sparse, but impeccably clean. Emily was asleep in the small bedroom, her wheelchair folded beside the bed. Anna, I need to be honest with you about who I am. I'm not just someone who works in technology. I'm Julian Westbrook. I'm the CEO of Westbrook Enterprises. I'm very wealthy, and I want to help you and Emily. Okay? Anna's expression hardened. We're not a charity project. We're managing fine on our own. I know you're managing, but you shouldn't have to just manage. Emily needs surgery that you're struggling to save for. You're working yourself into exhaustion. I have resources that I don't need, that honestly feel meaningless sitting in accounts doing nothing. Let me help. Why? Why would you do this for strangers? Julian was quiet for a long moment, because when I look at you and Emily, I see something I never had. Real love, real connection. You're rich in ways that have nothing to do with money, and I'm poor in those same ways, despite having billions. I want to help because maybe, in some small way, it will make my own life feel less empty. Is that selfish? Probably. But I'm asking anyway. I can't accept money from you. It wouldn't be right. Then what if I propose something different? What if, instead of just giving you money, I offer you a position at my company? A real job with real responsibilities, good salary, benefits that include excellent health insurance that would cover Emily's surgery. You'd earn it, Anna. Every penny would be something you worked for. Anna stared at him. You're offering me a job? Just like that? Not just like that. I've looked into your background. You're intelligent, organized, capable. You're managing 2 jobs and a daughter with complex medical needs. That takes skills that most executives I know don't have. I need someone I can trust to help me manage some of the charitable foundation work I'm trying to establish. Someone who understands what it's like to struggle, who won't lose sight of the real people our programs are meant to help. That's you. This isn't say. You barely know me. I know enough. I know you're raising an incredible daughter, despite impossible circumstances. I know you work yourself to exhaustion to provide for her. I know you have integrity and strength and perspective I desperately need in my life and my business. The question is whether you're willing to take a chance. Anna sat down heavily. I don't know what to say. Say yes. Take the job. Get Emily the surgery she needs. Build a better life for both of you. And maybe, if you're willing, let me be part of your lives. Not as a boss or a benefactor, but as a friend. I'm so tired of being alone, Anna. I'm so tired of my life meaning nothing beyond accumulating more money. Helping you and Emily would give me purpose I haven't felt in years. Before Anna could respond, they heard a sound from the bedroom. Emily had woken up and wheeled herself to the doorway. Mom, why is Mr. Julian here? He came to bring us Christmas presents, sweetheart. Emily wheeled closer, studying Julian with the intensity only children possessed. Mr. Julian, are you trying to adopt me? Julian was taken aback. What? No, that's not, because if you are, I need to tell you something important. Emily's small face was very serious. Please don't adopt me. Adopt my mom instead. Emily. Anna was mortified, but Emily continued, her voice earnest and wise beyond her years. Mom needs someone to take care of her for once. She always takes care of me, but nobody takes care of her. She's tired all the time and she cries at night when she thinks I'm sleeping. She needs a family too. So if you're going to adopt someone, adopt her. I already have a mom, so I'm okay. But she doesn't have anyone. So please, will you adopt my mom? Julian felt his eyes burning with tears. He looked at Anna, who was crying openly, then back at Emily. You know what? I have a better idea. What if, instead of adopting anyone, we became a family? All three of us together, like a real family. Emily asked hopefully. With you and Mom and me. Exactly like a real family. If your mom agrees, of course. Anna was shaking her head, but she was smiling through her tears. This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. We don't even know you. Then let's get to know each other. Let me hire you for real. Let me help with Emily's medical needs. Let me be part of your lives, and you can be part of mine. No rush, no pressure. Just three people who could all use more family building something together. What do you say? Emily wheeled over and took Julian's hand. I say yes. Mom, you should say yes too. Anna looked at her daughter, at this man who had somehow seen through to the heart of what they needed, and felt the walls she had built around herself began to crumble. Okay, yes, let's try this. But Julian, if you hurt my daughter, if you break her heart, I don't care how many billions you have. I will make you regret it. I wouldn't expect anything less, okay, Anna? I won't hurt her, or you, I promise, okay? That Christmas was the first of many they would spend together. Julian kept his promise, hiring Anna for a position that utilized her skills while providing the salary and benefits they desperately needed. Emily got her surgery, which was successful, though she would always need the wheelchair. But more importantly, it became the family that all three of them had been missing. Julian taught Emily about business and investment, but she taught him about joy and resilience. Anna and Julian's professional relationship evolved into friendship and eventually into love, built on mutual respect and genuine affection rather than rescue fantasies or financial need. You know, Anna said one evening 2 years later as they sat together watching Emily do her physical therapy exercises. She was right that first night. About what? About you adopting me instead of her. In a way, we adopted each other. You gave us security and opportunity. We gave you family and purpose. It's the strangest adoption story ever, but it worked. Julian smiled, pulling her close. Your daughter is remarkably wise. She saw what we all needed before we could see it ourselves. She understood that sometimes the best way to help someone is to give them the chance to help others. She saved me as much as I helped you too. She never let us forget it either. Just wait until she's a teenager. Years later, at Emily's high school graduation, Julian sat between Anna, now his wife, and Emily's wheelchair, Kay, now updated with the best technology available. Emily gave a speech about resilience and family, about how sometimes families were built rather than born, and how the greatest gift we can give each other is to see people's needs and respond with compassion rather than judgment. When I was 7, Emily told the auditorium full of people, I asked a stranger to adopt my mother instead of me. I knew Mom needed someone to take care of her for once. What I didn't know was that he needed us just as much as we needed him. Family isn't about whose DNA you share. It's about who shows up for you, who sees you when you're struggling and chooses to help instead of walking away. That's what Julian did for us. That's what we did for him. And that's what I hope you'll all do for each other. See the people who need you and choose connection over convenience. Julian sat in the audience, crying openly, not caring who saw, thinking about that snowy evening when a little girl in a wheelchair had looked at him with wise eyes and changed everything. She hadn't asked for toys or money or things. She had asked him to take care of the person she loved most, even if it meant she got less attention or resources. That selfless love, that complete devotion to her mother's well-being, had cracked open something in Julian's chest that had been frozen for decades. It had shown him what really mattered, what actually made life worth living. Not the billions in his bank account, but the chance to be part of something genuine, to love and be loved, to build family from choice and commitment, rather than just biology. And Emily's request, "Please don't adopt me. Adopt my mom instead," had become the foundation of the most meaningful relationship Julian had ever experienced. Because in trying to help Anna, he had been helped himself. In giving them family, he had gained the family he had always longed for. Sometimes the greatest gifts come from the least expected sources. Sometimes a child's wisdom cuts through adult complications to reveal simple truths. And sometimes the people we think we're rescuing are actually the ones saving us. One small act of love at a time. If this story reminded you that family is built through choice and commitment, and that sometimes the greatest gift we can give is to put others' needs before our own, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who understands the power of chosen family, and subscribe to our channel for more stories about unexpected connections and the courage to build meaningful relationships. Leave a comment below about a time when someone showed you that real family transcends biology, or when you chose to become family to someone who needed you. Your stories remind us all that we're capable of creating the love and connection we need, regardless of where we started or what circumstances we face.